Hello, this is Ed Palacios. In this assignment, we're asked to conduct a defense of the research that we did for this particular course. The research question that I asked myself is, are there any companies that benefited from disaster? In this case, can disaster prove profitable? And certainly it can. Disasters can be proved profitable to insurance companies. As they anticipate the potential for disaster, insurance companies can certainly gain revenue from that. Reconstruction companies after a disaster, new service offerings. In this particular research, I focused on A.P. Giannini, the founder of Bank of America. Now, Giannini was born from very humble beginnings. He was the son of a vegetable and fruit farmer in California. His parents were both immigrants from Italy, and he was born in 1870. When AP was 6 years old, his father was killed, and his family struggled. Fortunately, his mother remarried, and she married well. And her second husband, who treated AP like one of his own children, educated him and became a fruit broker. He also had interest in a bank, which AP started working for at a very young age, and ultimately became one of the directors of this bank. In 1904, AP saw an opportunity to provide a service that no one else was providing. At least not in the conventional banking sense. AP started a bank called the Bank of Italy in 1904, and he was focusing his attention on the immigrant population. In this case predominantly Italian immigrants, but I'm sure that he didn't necessarily discriminate against anyone else. But it was fundamentally focused on the working class Americans. These are people who would not be able to go to a conventional bank and get loans in order to start their own businesses or build their own homes, because these are people that were seen as risky loan options. They had little or no collateral for any kind of loans. So he saw this as an untapped market. And he started this bank, and it was very successful. By 1906, he had over $700,000 in deposits. So that is approximately $23 million in today's money. AP also found himself in a peculiar situation that in 1906, there was an 8-point Richter scale earthquake in San Francisco. So in those days, the buildings really weren't designed to withstand earthquakes, and so most of the city had collapsed. AP borrowed a wagon from a farmer and went and secured $80,000 worth of coin out of his collapsed bank, and had to hide this under furniture to get away from the thieves and the looters. And then immediately after the earthquake, a huge fire destroys about 80% of San Francisco. So AP saw this as an opportunity to help the community. So he starts a sidewalk bank there near the piers and loaned out this money. And so he was one of the very first to start rebuilding San Francisco in the immediate aftermath. So this kind of fame and fortune led him to expand his banking influence, and the Bank of Italy became one of the major banks in California, and ultimately in 1930 became the Bank of America, which is the largest bank in the United States today. Some of the key primary sources were difficult to find for this, and much of my primary sources came from news articles that I found about A.P. Giannini and the success of his bank and his entrepreneurship and the efforts that he made to build California. He saw himself as more than just a banker. He saw himself as a citizen of California, and he tried very hard to bring tremendous value and expand the economic and business opportunities for California. And during the Depression, he worked very hard to keep people employed. He was one of the major investors in the Golden Gate Bridge, not because he necessarily saw a true need for the bridge, but because he saw the need for the employment that it offered. So in summary, A.P. Giannini really is one of the rags to riches, true American success stories, a fascinating look at an innovative man and a genius in the banking institution. I highly encourage everyone to look into it. It's very, very interesting. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.